This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones. I'm Jarvis. That's Tenitra. We want to welcome you into a good day, a Tuesday. It's a $2 Tuesday. I'm still trying to figure out what that $2 means, T, but, we're working on this thing because, we are here and we want to thank you so much for, making ATL Day Ones your first listen each and every day. That's Monday through Friday. We are here with you. You can see and listen to us each and every day. Like, what more can you ask for? And make sure, want to let you know that it is free and available on YouTube and wherever you download your podcast. Just type in the search engine, Locked On Sports Atlanta, and we'll pop right up. We got a lot of good stuff on board for you today. Did the Atlanta Falcons pick the right guy in Desmond Ridder? And also, Tenitra and I will tell you exactly how the Hawks will be better in the 2022 season. I know that's exciting. I know you've been waiting and trying to figure that thing out. And last but not least, Brett Favre don't messed up the church's money. We'll talk about that in For the Culture. We will see. But before we get to all of that, we got to start with the Atlanta Falcons. They will host a rookie minicamp on the 13th, which is this Friday. So we get a chance to take a look at the young pups. T, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of excited to kind of see what's going on. And Desmond Ridder will be available to the media. He was speaking to the media on Saturday. And they got a Drake London on Friday, so they kind of mix it up a little bit. So you can't pick and choose what practice you want to go to. You know how that is. They cover the team. But I think one of the things that I think that kind of really stood out to me, T, is that I think it's safe to say that both you and I were very high on Malik Willis. And I think that, for the Falcons, I thought that would have been a good pick. But when the Falcons picked Desmond Ridder in the third round, were you kind of disappointed, or were you kind of left wondering why they picked Desmond Ridder over Malik Willis?
It was actually I went in a couple different directions. It was a head scratcher for a split second, because Malik Willis was still listed on so many boards as best available for the quarterbacks who were left at that time, which really was the whole quarterback board, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, it really was, and that was, I guess, the conundrum of the pick of the litter, because no one anticipated that it would be that. So yes, when I heard Desmond Ridder, I was like, oh, okay. Not that I thought it was a bad pick, just thought that maybe somehow they would lean to Malik Willis, but that was for a split second. Then I thought about the Falcons organization and thought, you know what? Desmond Ridder seems like the safer bet. And that's, the Falcons can be more of a safe, kind of conservative, kind of we'll go by the book organization of what we just think is a surefire. Whereas, so when you look at Malik Willis, many would call him, and I'll put this in sort of a wrap it in a bow, a diamond in the rough. Whereas many would say Desmond Ridder is probably closer to his diamond status, if you will. And I think that really kind of tipped the scales when maybe you look at what the Falcons saw with Malik and his upside potential, maybe saw in Desmond Ridder. Hey, he's been in some of those bigger games and really has shown up and shown out. We both think probably Notre Dame, but ultimately not a bad game even against UGA when they really took the Dogs to the brink a couple of years ago as well. So you think about that and you're like, well, those may have been the tipping factors that, hey, we've got somebody, whether we put him behind Marcus Mariota this season or whether he shows us that he can be that guy for 2023, we think that he may just be a more ready now quarterback than maybe Malik Willis. So that's why I said at first it was a head scratcher and it was kind of disappointing. But then as I thought about what the Falcons organization would do, I said, well, yeah, that's probably why I didn't really have him in my mock draft going to the Falcons necessarily. Heart wanted him to go there, but head said it probably would be otherwise.
You know what? And I definitely understand that line of thinking, because I was kind of like that. But here's one of the reasons why I think that the Falcons should have picked Malik Willis, because I think we've seen the best of Desmond Ridder. I don't think Desmond Ridder is going to get that much better in the NFL. I think Malik Willis has an opportunity to. I think the upside is much better than Ridder, and I think that, you know, as I started to think about it, you know, a lot in my head, I started to say, okay, Desmond Ridder is a guy who probably could come in and beat out Marcus Mariota, because even Desmond Ridder himself said, I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth, but I was like, man, if they're going to get him, why not get a younger guy just like him? You know, he was referring to himself when the Falcons signed Marcus Mariota. So, and I think, and it's kind of ironic too, because Marcus Mariota didn't really get better when he came into the NFL. He kind of just stayed the same. He was the fabulous leader, and everybody loved him. Everybody, followed his lead. He took a team that wasn't necessarily a powerhouse and kind of put him on the map in Oregon. You know, so and I think that. That's why it makes it so interesting. That's why I question the pick so much, because it's just like you can easily look and make a easy comp to Marcus Mariota, and the guy may end up being having the same type of career as Marcus. So why would you take him there? And in comparison to Malik Willis, like I said, the upside is there, the big arm is there, the mobility is there. You know, he's not necessarily the vocal rah-rah guy. You know, because in talking with people who covered him at Liberty, they sung his praises. Like they said that, the sky's the limit for this guy. So it kind of puts it in perspective for me, and I kind of bring it back to this. I don't think that the Falcons really wanted a guy that could be a long-term answer at the quarterback position. Follow me here, T. Follow me. Roll with your boy for a second.
Yeah. For a second, because we got to talk about our brains. We got to get
indeed. So I think that the Falcons wanted to draft a guy that they knew that more than likely can come in and beat out Marcus Mariota, and they can get a good snapshot into what he could be. And if they felt at the end of the season, I say there's a possibility that Ridder probably starts maybe 6 or 7 games in this season.
I've said that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a good snapshot into, okay, if this kid can survive behind this offensive line and this running game and be able to utilize some of the weapons that they got right there waiting for them, and they got the bigs out there ready to roll. I think that they can say, okay, we got a mid-round pick, and we got some good value there, and he can eventually be our guy for the next 3 or 4 years. Not necessarily the face of the franchise. I think they'll be good because you got that low salary, and then you can build around that. So I don't think that, that's why I believe Ridder is a good fit for the Falcons, but I don't necessarily agree that they should have taken him. So I'm not too off with what they did, but like I said, I definitely think they should have gone with Malik Willis. And so speaking of the Braves, I think there's something that the Braves can do if they're able to win these 2 games that they have coming up against the Boston Red Sox. Obviously, the Braves are 14-16, and Kyle Wright is on the mound tonight. First pitch at 7:20, and they're at home at Truist Park. Based off of what we saw the last time we saw the Braves, they had an off day yesterday. They beat the brakes off the Milwaukee Brewers 9-2. See, what more can we expect for tonight?
Yeah, we hope that we get more of the same. I keep peeking at my Twitter just to see if they're releasing that starting lineup. I'm just curious to see. I mean, I suspect Ronald Acuna Jr. will still be in there.
Nephew should be in there. He should be.
Our question, I think, was more of what the rest of the order looked like, particularly maybe seeing if there's a little shakeup with Marcell Ozuna. So if you guys see me looking down, it's because I was just checking to see if they released.
We keep it real on this show.
I was trying to see that bat in order to let you guys know what that order would look like, but the Braves have not released that yet. But yeah, this will be an interesting matchup because as awful as the Red Sox have been, and we do mean awful, I mean, they're getting smoked by the likes of the White Sox. But
8 games under 500, by the way.
Yes, but they also have put their best pitcher on the mound, at least their best pitcher this season, in Providence Christian's own Garrett Whitlock. So he is that guy. He's their version, if you will, of a Kyle Wright. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And of course, with Ian Anderson kind of bringing up the rear. But these are critical games, not only to get the Braves potentially to 500, but also to get them set up to prepare for some formidable opponents, in that they've got a series against the Padres that they're going to host. And then, of course, they'll be making their way up to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. So really kind of, again, two things. Number one, keeping that momentum from where they were with the Brewers, but number two, also setting them up for wrapping up the homestand and then going back on the road against a really good opponent. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they're going to do. And I hope that we are, it's interesting because it kind of feels like last year a little bit, where it was the up down for about 18 games, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. We're kind of there, but I'm hoping that we are not. I'm hoping the rest of May is going to look like, 2 wins in a row, 3 wins in a row, 4 wins in a row. Let's get some steam and some momentum going.
No doubt about it. And the 26-year-old Kyle Wright is rolling into this bad boy with a 1.74 ERA, 3-1 on the season. This is a guy that I'm sure the Braves front office is just smiling right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think Double A is all you can see, all the whites. He's seeing all the whites right now from his office. He was like, yes, this dude is finally getting himself together. And
in the regular season, no doubt, because Kyle Wright postseason has been solid. But 27 strikeouts to 3 walks in the regular season, that's what we're talking about. This early on, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. That is something we are going to be excited to see, and definitely, hopefully, we'll be talking about a win tomorrow. But tomorrow's not here yet. But what we're going to be talking about next, though, on ATL Day Ones, Tenitra and I have put our brains together. That's some powerful stuff. I don't know about y'all. I don't know if y'all know that or not. That's some powerful stuff. We put our brains together. We figured out how the Hawks are going to be better this year. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. Don't go anywhere.